Pharaoh speaks. Fixing the world, Doctors Without Borders. A large percentage of Sparkle Motion funds would actually end up going to Doctors Without Borders. We need more doctors. We need to make it cheaper to be a doctor. We need to make it cheaper to become a doctor. Of course, Doctors Without Borders would have to be screened for corruption, most likely in the insurance department. Insurance is one of the highest sources of debt in the world. For my example, I'm going to use the USA, who spends $1 trillion on their military budget every year. The USA has been involved in more wars in the last 250 years than any other country. So it would benefit that they would actually contribute to solving the problem instead of causing them. If they were to take their $1 trillion military budget and cut it in half, over 10 years, Doctors Without Borders would have $5 trillion. Imagine what $5 trillion could do for the world. And it wouldn't hurt their military at all. Their military is so far advanced, so much larger, that they could honestly take a break with research and development and they would not even notice. The other idea with Doctors Without Borders is we could really use hospital ships, and the best ship for this would actually be surplus aircraft carriers because of their size and because of their ability to transport patients on and off the ship. Imagine 7 or 8 hospital ships, aircraft carriers, 3 of them stationed in the Pacific, 2 of them in the Atlantic, 1 of them in the Mediterranean, and 1 of them in the Indian Ocean. This would mean that any coastal disasters anywhere in the world would have immediate assistance within 1 week of the disaster. I think this would benefit mankind greatly, and it would definitely take the burden off of local doctors and hospitals. Another great technological advancement would be to go to the Bell 47. That was the MASH helicopter. They are cheap, they are easy to fly, they are cheap to maintain, and they can carry 2 patients externally to the hospital. They're about half the price of typical helicopters and much cheaper than the actual helicopter that the hospitals are using now. And the older engines are actually gasoline possible, but we'd have to see how safe and reliable gasoline is for a helicopter. There's a reason why they use jet fuel. You have to think there's only so much that EMTs can do to a patient inside of an ambulance or inside of a helicopter. And if you're on a stable condition and in a flight for life situation, I don't think you're really going to be picky about what helicopter is getting you to the hospital as quickly as possible. Another idea is motorcycle EMT first responders. In South America, they actually have, let's call them nurses, riding dirt bikes because they're the ones who can get there faster. But if you look at Western cities, an ambulance is still going to take twice as long as a motorcycle to get through all the slow cars and all the traffic and all the congestion. A motorcycle would probably get there in half the time. You would be amazed how fast a motorcycle can get from one side of town to the other if it's not following any traffic laws. It would also be much cheaper. These men would definitely be heroes. I have many ideas. Some of them will come at a later time, but these are just a few ideas for making the world a better place to live. Healthcare is a universal right, and Western medicine has a very atheist and scientific method to their approach, and this is good for surgery. They are excellent at surgery. I'm not going to tell you how they got all this technology when it comes to surgery, but they do need to embrace a more holistic and Eastern philosophy. The Western mind is so analytical that they fail to grasp the concepts of homeostasis and equilibrium and non-pure substances. That's a whole section in itself. If we could get Western medicine to be a little bit less atheist in their approach and a little bit more homeostasis in their approach, let's say, they would actually improve their medicine. We could get rid of chemotherapy once and for all. Have a good day. Bye.